I'll wait till, well, it's 12:05 now. We've got 5 people in. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how, not how I built my first website, because that was like extremely painful. Like that was hugely painful. But how I build a website now. So I think, Tina, you said you just subscribed to Claude, the $100 plan, and you use Workspace or Cowork, pardon me. I don't use Cowork very much.
I literally just signed up. They actually enable Cowork on the Pro plan now. So that's what I signed up for.
Oh, okay. So anything I'm going to do is going to cost you a lot of credits or a lot of tokens, and you'll burn through it. I'm on the $200 max plan, and that just about fits everything I do. So I haven't hit the limits much. So I obviously am not beating it hard enough. So I'm going to and then, hey, Maddie, where are you calling from? I'm gonna share the entire screen because I can never figure out what I want to do. When I share the entire screen and it stays on this one, I think it weirds out a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to go here. So can you guys see this screen? The black screen?
Yes.
Oh, you can? This one? Like with the 3 terminal windows? I just typed Claude, dear. Okay, good. Because for some reason I can't see anybody now, and I won't see if anyone joins. I guess maybe I'll hear a alert or something. Okay, so I work in the terminal most of the time, and this is essentially what my view looks like. I normally also have VS Code. And Tina, I brought this up for you. I don't work in Cowork, so I don't know much about it, but it's essentially
I'm just a fly on the wall.
Okay. So you can in Cowork, if you want to follow along, you can go to code, and then this is, don't worry, those are old things that I never bothered fixing. But this is Claude Code in the desktop app. So you must have Claude desktop. So you can go Claude Code here, Cowork, and chat. So chat's just the regular thing, and Cowork is there. All right. So what I wanted to talk about is building a website, and I also have the domain name for Claude Code Pirates.ai, and I haven't built a website for it yet. So I've got 3 windows open, and I'm going to kind of show you 3 different ways, or 2 different ways that I build a website. But the first thing I want to do is tell it, and I'm going to dictate to it. I wonder if my microphone's going to be, I'm just going to see if I can dictate here. I am trying to, I'm testing my microphone. Is it working? Yeah, it's working. Okay, I want you to create a folder and call it test website development. And I want 3 subfolders, maybe 2, make it 2 subfolders for 2 different test websites. And I'll, in each instance, I'll call the website 1. Okay, I guess I got to let someone in. Oh, come on. All right. Hey, Jeff. You haven't missed anything. We just started. Okay. So just put it in the root for now so I know where to find it. Or maybe put it under training. Yeah, put it under the training folder. So my folder system is a complete mess. All right. So I was actually going to build the folders before we started, but then I thought, you know what? This is how you would do it. So the nice thing about Claude Code, and you probably know this, is it's connected to your file system. And Tina, Cowork is also connected to your file system. So once you're signed in, you can access files on your computer just by asking Cowork in here to go find it. So I could probably ask it to, maybe I'll build website 2 over here and see what happens. And I'll build website 1 over here. And we'll build 2 pirate websites. And we'll see what it goes. So I'm going to show you. So I built a skill for this because I built a number of websites. And so I'm going to use the build website skill right here. And this is probably my first live test of it since I built it. So what, if you're not familiar with a Claude skill, what it essentially is, it's you put a slash. So people will either call them slash commands or skills. They function exactly the same. And I think slash commands were built before skills, and then they just sort of morphed into this. So, okay, someone needs to come in. I hope you don't get seasick from me flipping my screens back and forth. So my slash command, build a website, starts by interviewing me. And asking me about my business or whatever. So I hate it when it asks me like 10 questions at once, but generally I just talk to it anyway. So the business name is Claude Code Pirates. It is a Claude Code discussion group. It's located in Ottawa, but my service area is global. Phone number and email address to be confirmed. Key services and prices. I don't really have any services or prices yet, so we'll just park that. Additional pages, not that I can think of right now. This site will not have a chatbot or AI assistant. It will generate
Hi there.
images and text.
I just popped by. Popped by a couple of minutes. I'm actually in the middle.
Yeah. Hey, Chatty. I'm just dictating to my my bot. So what
Amazing.
what are we at
Yes,
here?
I can see that you created a slash command for that, right?
Yeah.
Yes, wow. So many terminals.
So I don't have any colors for the website. So I'll just tell it that go look at pirate websites and tell me what you find. And also look at School, SKOOL, Claude Code Pirates, and see if you can find any thematic stuff from there. And that should work. This is website number 1 in the Web Pages Chatbot Genius Training Test Website Development folder, website 1 in my user files. Okay, so I'm going to go and tell it to do that, because when you build a website, if you build it for someone else, obviously there's a lot of questions you need to look at. And so I'm just going to send that off. Now, Opus 4.6 will do parallel research. It can spin up its own agents and go do different tasks, and they all communicate because they have an orchestrator. And it'll just get to work. That's what that skill is for. This one is just going to be like you sitting there talking to it, saying you want to build a website. Okay, I want to build test website 2. Here's the folder I want you to put it in. Okay. So on the one side, you know, I've just haven't really said anything other than I want to build a website and here's where I want you to put it. So on the left, it knows, or on the right, it's got to work right away. On the right hand side, it's for website 2. It's kind of like I have given it nothing, and it knows that. So it's like, okay, what are you doing? Let's call it a client mock-up. So right away, it is starting to lead me through kind of development, blog content site, e-commerce. I'm just going to tell it, this is a website. It's called claudecodepirates.ai, and it is related to my school group, SKOOL, of the same name, Claude Code Pirates. And I've recently bought the domain name, and I haven't built a website yet. So that's what I'm doing right now. Now, one of the things, like when you talk to the AI, it just, like, this is what I love. And I use WhisperFlow, and that just lets me talk my commands, and it saves your wrists and your fingers all sorts of work. And so I'd recommend, like, I don't recommend you buy too many tools. Like, I spend $200 a month on Claude Code. I'm like really not into spending any more money on tools, and neither is my wife. But WhisperFlow is got an exception. So now it's asking me about the tech stack. I don't know. Tailwind. You know what? I'll go with Tailwind. Just because someone said it was hard, and I was kind of like, I don't know, is it hard? So we'll find out. And I don't find anything hard really at this stage, because I just tell it to go and do stuff. But the side piece here is the demonstration of what a slash command can do and what you can do yourself just by talking. So if you're using and you're building a website and you're using Cowork, everything I've said, you could just type into that and say, I'd like to make a website. And once we get website number 2 set up, maybe I'll go over to Cowork and then ask it some questions to look at the website 2 and see if it can get it. So here it is, Claude Code Pirates. Yeah. And it knows my Claude. It's Claude Code Pirates school community. So it knows that. And for some reason, it doesn't know it hasn't quite figured that one out yet. Now, I'm not going to launch this obviously onto the net, but what I will do is we'll create it in a local host. So we'll be able to see what it comes up with and then compare the two locally. And I would say anytime that you're building a website, you know, you obviously want to see it, but you want to see it, and just if it doesn't ask you, tell it to launch it in a local host in your browser, and then it'll come up and you'll get a chance to see it. And then if you see things that are kind of weird or you don't like, you just come back and explain, okay, I don't like that, or I do like this, I want more of it. And you go from there. Okay, so this side, right, my slash command still seems to know what it's doing. And on the right-hand side, it is got some questions. So what's the primary goal of this wrong website that I've written here? So is it a funnel to school, standalone course site, info, funnel combo, host the formal course content directly on the site? I don't really know. It's just connected to the school. And what I just want to do is sort of maybe have the website lead to school and maybe school lead to the website. So not necessarily a funnel, but a link. Also, you have identified the name of the community properly, Claude Code Pirates, but you have spelt the domain name as Cloud Code Pirates. Okay, so fix that too. That's one of the issues with voice to text is sometimes it just hears what it wants to hear. I think we're going to do, hey, let's do a landing page, about, and a blog. Let's do that. So should the pirate theme be bold or subtle? Well, I mean, what's the point of not being bold when you're a pirate? So there's that. And now on this side, we see Claude's coming back. And, you know, I'm in Canada, so like, I don't normally say Claude because Claude is like a clod of dirt and Claude is like somebody's name. So I will call it either Claude or Claude Code. But I never say Claude Code for some reason. And I never say Claude. So that's just something that we'll all have to live with. Okay, so what do I want? Like, what's a modern pirate? Like the only modern.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So running these commands in terminal versus the running in command via Visual Studio, what is the recommended path? Like I use Claude Code, but I use the extension that you can get in the Visual Studio, and then you can type in there. But then there's also an option of terminal, like the one that you're using and working. So the slash commands work in both the setups, I guess. So which is the one that is recommended and to be followed?
Well, there's two types of slash commands.
Mm-hmm.
There's two types of slash commands. One is global, right? And the create a website is global. So I can access it from anywhere within my repositories. So the other type of slash command is for projects. So if you have a project and you build in, you know, let's say a half a dozen commands, if they're just specific to the project, I like to keep them in the project level so that when I come and do a slash command somewhere else, I don't have a very long list of commands that I have to pick through. And if I can't remember the name of the slash command, that can be a problem. So, and I already have lots. So like as you go down and, you know, some of them I've made a mistake. I've added global commands when they should be project commands and vice versa. So I'm not really on top of the organization like I should have been. These N8N ones I downloaded them from GitHub. So they're global. And in my love-hate relationship with N8N, I've not actually been able to create an effective N8N pipeline. So I just had Claude Code build one. But in my folders, in projects, I will often like, where is it? This is a book building pipeline, and all of these slash commands all relate to my folder. Those intake ones, that's a bit of a that's from Anthropic, so I really have no idea what they're for. So it'll pick up my global ones and my local ones.
Okay. But still you're using the terminal portion, right? What I am asking is that even in the Visual Studio, you can just normally chat once you install the Claude extension, and then you pop up that Claude button that's there on the right, and then you can, instead of using a terminal, you can use that as a chat window, and then you can work. This one, I think, and this is the one that you have right now.
Yeah. So I added that. I probably have to log in or something.
Yeah, this one. So I normally use, I use this one. So I've seen many people use this, and now you are using the terminal. Which is the best one to use to get the most out of Claude?
You know, that's tough to say, because if you started using the plugin, you're probably comfortable there. I started using the terminal window, and that's where I'm comfortable. Now, the one thing is if I open a project, and then I open terminal windows, those terminal windows are already oriented on my project. When you use the plugin, do you have to tell it where to go?
No, once I use this plugin and I just have to tell it, yeah. If we've already installed the global MCPs for certain projects. So do you have the idea where they are? You can use it. Can you use it in this project? So it uses it. So it's like that. We don't have to explicitly, install those skills somewhere else. I use to install all those skills MCP here only, and it once I want to use it in a particular project, it comes to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I actually do, so I don't use this, but I use this all the time. And what I find is Codex. Now, I only have the $20 Codex, but I will use Codex to evaluate what Claude Code's doing sometimes. If it gets stuck in a loop, I'll ask it a quick question and say, hey, can you go look at this? And I find that useful. Okay. So while we were talking, we got this. And this is website number 2. So we started it later, but we got a pretty good, very quick website. So one of the things that you're going to find with websites, and you're going to see it a lot, is it's going to just kind of give you a website. And so I've noticed that lately it kind of gives you the black websites. It sort of uses these sort of neon colored fonts and stuff. And it does the, these cards are pretty standard the way it lays it out, and it likes its emojis, right? So it puts emojis all over everything. And so you're not typically going to, this is what you're going to get if you don't tell it what you want. So let's see if it made an about page. The story behind the Jolly Roger. Well, it looks like it went and read some of my posts. The captain who's actually a Sherpa. Huh. And so essentially, this is a pretty basic website. So if you wanted to build a website like super quick, that was what, 5 minutes? Oh, and this one actually, it probably is not hooked to anything, but I wonder if I could subscribe to it. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. Oh, it just sent me back to the top. So I don't even know if I'm subscribed. So that one doesn't, that's not working. All right. I'm just going to X out of this. Let me, oh, where's my websites? Okay. Oh yeah, here they are. So I'm going to close that just so we can have website 1 and website 2. So what we were just looking at is website number 2 and what it's done. So website 1 did a lot more upfront work. And it says, what font style for headings? All right. It's got a recommendation. One of the things that happens, and you get it a lot, like Claude will give you 3 or 4 things over here, but it won't prioritize them, and it won't give you a recommendation. And if you have no idea what it's talking about, you come down to number 4 and you say, I have no idea what you're talking about. Give me a recommendation. So I'm not going to do that here because Pirata seems like the website or the font that I want to use. So now it's getting back to work. So this one has put out a very simple website very quickly. And so what I'm going to do is, like, I wasn't really impressed with it, and it didn't talk to me too much about it. My skill is guiding me through, and it says, okay, this color palette and direction work for you. So it's given me, done some research, and it's telling me some stuff. Use pirate theme language, ships log, pirate website, design patterns, vintage, classic, modern. Given your community's no hype builder ethos, I recommend modern. Okay, modern plus that. And it's now, this one is giving me a whole color palette. It's actually designed some color palette. And this one just kind of went and looked at some stuff and did some stuff. So let's see. I'm going to say it looks great because it probably looks great. So for website number 2, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to try and find a pirate website. This used to be set up properly. Where's my... Okay, so there's my website, test 1. I'm going to say, show me a good pirate website. Well, let's see what the golden age of piracy has for us. Pirate websites. The way of the pirates. Yeah, let's go to that one, see what it looks like. Oh, that's so boring. Oh, and look, full of ads. No kidding. All right, Pirates of the Caribbean. These dudes have zero style. Terrible. Okay, swordplay and swashbucklers. Oh, this is like hugely sad. I was looking for something. Okay. Pirate facts and legends. Oh. Okay, this one's got some color. It's got some different things. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy that web address, and I'm going to go to, if I can find it, website 2, and I'm going to say, yeah, you know what? It kind of looks okay, but it's not very inspiring. So the content looks all right, but it's just kind of boring looking. Can you make it look more like this? And then I just put that. And so when I do websites for businesses, what I'll say is go find 5 examples of websites in this field. Look at the strongest features of all of them, and I want to incorporate them here, right? So I'm sending this one off. I'm going to say, go look at that, and let's copy that style for inspiration. Over here, it was a more methodical approach. It asked me a few questions, I think, earlier in the process, and now it's working on building the index HTML, which is the homepage. So has anyone built a website using Claude at all?
Yes, I have built one.
Okay. And one of the, okay, so how'd it go?
It was pretty good. I mean, I would say 70-80% to what I wanted it to give me. So it was good. I can paste the link here. It's still on Vercel. I can quickly paste the link here. So just that you know. Yeah,
put it in the chat. We can check it out. So what, and you know what? Getting a 70% output for what you want, that's a pretty good starting place. And one of the things that I started when I looked at websites. Like I've seen a million websites like everyone else. But what I haven't done is I haven't ever built one before. Like I looked at WordPress and tried to do stuff and it just made it horrible. Like it was just so frustrating. And I knew I did the same with what's the other one? Wix. And the learning curve was so steep. I'm like, wow, man, like, come on. I don't have 2 weeks to learn how to use your platform in order to build a web page. So let me bring up, do you have it in the chat?
Oh, just let me look for the link. Just give a moment.
Okay. I don't know where the chat is here because I'm sharing my screen. I guess I'd have to stop presenting. Oh, maybe it's down here. Okay.
Okay, where do I put? Where's the chat section here? Okay. Okay, here I find it.
Okay, so website 1 is just finishing. It's built it in the project location. Was that Bling? Was that you adding it to the link?
Yes, I just put it in the chat.
Okay, let me find it and I'll bring it up for everybody. If I can find the chat. So I used to use Zoom a lot, and then I realized, and oh, there it is. I realized that I pay, pay for Google Workspace. So I've got to learn how to use the tools that I pay for rather than paying for more. Okay, so I'm looking at this. Is this so you built it for Monisha?
That's right, yeah.
Okay. Is she I'm just going out on a limb here because I've only built for family and friends. Is she a family wife?
Yeah. Yeah, she's my sister.
Oh, your sister. Okay. So
Yeah.
All right. This looks pretty good.
Mhm.
So how much time did you spend on building this?
I have a pro plan. I don't have the max plan yet. So I used to hit the limit pretty soon. So I took a day or two to complete the entire stack. So
I'm familiar with that.
yeah.
Very familiar with that because
Yeah.
when I started with the $20 a month plan,
Yeah.
at first I wasn't sure. I had actually canceled Claude, and then I came back and I wanted to see if I could write a book with AI.
Mhm.
So this is pretty decent. Oh, okay, that's a nav. Book a session. Oh, and you got a WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens when we book a session. Okay. And this just sends her an email?
Yes.
Okay. And this is your...
Yeah, and even if you click the WhatsApp, it will take you to the WhatsApp WhatsApp web, I think.
Okay, let's have a look. Okay, and this is her number on WhatsApp.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I linked Instagram, her Instagram handle as well. I put it there.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Where did we... All right. So that took you 2 days.
Yes. Yeah. Because of the limits that I was talking about. But actually, if I would have had the max plan, which I'm planning to buy now, I think this would not take much time. But this was just kind of a testing thing, which I did.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it can be enhanced. We can work on it. And then it embedded all these links as well. She's written a book, so it takes you to the... If you want to buy a book, it takes you to that as well. If you go down, there's a link to shop them.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So 2 days, a functional website, and that's you know, it looks decent. And for a small business, like what do you really want? You know, I mean, someone for a small business, you might pay $1,500 for this website or 2,000. And, you know, this one cost $20 a month and a few coding sessions. So, what did she think of it? Was she happy?
Yeah, she was very happy. Yeah, yeah. Again, somebody was asking $500 to make this, and I did it for her. So it's still to buy a domain and then actually get it rolling. But just for a start, I think this solves her purpose.
Oh, so you're okay. So you're on Vercel. I use mine on Netlify. All right. So website 1 is finished. So I'm going to say open in the browser, and it's going to pop open the browser page and probably take us right there. There we go. Okay. So a little bit better. It's got the cool font. But you notice here, and this is what I was talking about. See this sort of neon green on the button and here, and this sort of neon-y kind of background fill on this button. You know, these two website 1 and website 2 were working independently and came up with sort of the same kind of color scheme, right? And I don't know why. Oh, there we go, side by side. So let me just go back to this. So that this must be website 2's new build once it went and looked at that other one. So let's finish looking at this. So you have cards. It likes the emojis, as I said, but it keeps, these ones are kind of cleaner and more modern because it asked for a modern style on the website. There's its favorite emojis again. I wonder why join the crew. Okay, laser focused, free forever, builder culture, global crew, FAQs. So one of the things for search engine optimization is adding FAQs. So AIs are you know, LLMs are, and AI search, they're lazy. AI is lazy. So it wants to look for the easy answer all the time. So one of the tricks people are talking about, and maybe you could integrate this into your web page, is building FAQs that give answers, right? And if the LLM is searching the web and it can see that you have lots of good little small sound bites of answers, it'll rank you because it's like, okay, that's a place that has, you know, clear kind of answers. So I would recommend every website should have an FAQ. And in fact, my skill forces an FAQ into it. Okay, about you, what you'll learn, community, school, join us. Oh, it's got the sharing buttons. I don't know what that one is. Just a miscellaneous sharing button. Let's see if it takes us to the community. Yeah, that's all right. Okay. Let's see if that'll take me to my LinkedIn. I have no doubt that it will. Yeah, that's me. It's me without my pirate hat. Oh, and it's going to let me share my thoughts and share the page. Okay. So I wonder if these, I just want to look at these. All right. So this is all a single page website. So these, this address bar up here is just taking me to, you know, different things on this page. All right. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go back. So now that I gave website 2 something to look at rather than just let it go its own destiny, it's got rid of the neon colors, right? It's lightened up the background so it's not black anymore. We're still calling ourselves Cloud Code because it didn't listen to me. That's easy to fix. And it's upscaled the emojis for the first few cards here. It's all right. What's this? Does this take us somewhere? Okay, so this is probably a button that could have been linked to the school but didn't. So same with these. That's a neat feature. Kind of fills in the background there. All right, here we are. Here's back to neon, right? Those kind of neon type colors and neon type colors and just sort of design attributes to this card. And then you see it kind of comes back to the gold, which I do like that gold, but this is kind of jarring. So one of the things that I would do is, if I wanted to make that more in the style of the rest of it, I would just grab this, grab that, take it in here, drop it there and say, hey, I really like the rest of the page. It looks good. But this section here, like these two cards, they don't look congruent with the rest of the page styling. They kind of got this neon vibe. And I don't like that because it sort of stands out. So if you're going to use red and green, right, to indicate if you want should be here or not, fine. But I just don't like the dark background like that. And I don't like the neon. Can you do something about that? So one of the dangers about having a voice to text is I talk a lot. So sometimes the terminal window gets an earful, and But what I'd say is you really should only give it one thing to do at once, and I have difficulty doing that. So sometimes I will say 2 or 3 things to do, and I'm usually not surprised that it doesn't do all 3. Opus 4.6 is a little bit better, but I know that Opus 4.5 and earlier, they weren't really good at multiple commands in the same text. So when I did this website, all I did was just talk to it. I could have put it in planning mode. And I know in the announcement, I talked about starting with a PRD, which is a product requirements document. And what the product requirements document is basically the 5 W's and the H of the website. So if I had said, I want to make a PRD for a website, can you walk me through it? It would ask me a bunch of questions, and then it would have then started to build. But this one, I just wanted to go from build me a website. Okay. So that's it, right? This fits a lot better. It's it's red and green, same thing, but it doesn't have that neon vibe. And it knows to put in, I'm going to have it correct that. It knows to put in, some of this in the nav bar, and you could have the contact me and all that stuff. It's got the school button. Let's see if it takes us to the school. It takes us to the school. That's cool. So what the difference between website 1 and 2 is website 1 has a lot of the functionality. Oh, okay, that's website 1, because of my slash command and how I've told it what to do, builds in all these things automatically. And it is, I wonder what that does. Now, when you build a website, some of the things that you don't often consider what you need in a website. But to me, when I built my first one, it was like, oh, I need to put in, it needs to be accessible, right? People need to be able to read it. GDPR, which is the European Union requirements for web pages, needs to know how information will be captured, you know, and have a cookie warning on it. So this one doesn't have a cookie warning. It probably should. So you would add that. And sometimes like contrasting fonts, right, for accessibility. This font, this light blue font on the blue card, maybe isn't as accessible as it could be. The yellow on the dark background works, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give it 2 tasks. So first off, I want you to do an accessibility audit because I'm looking at some of the fonts and the background colors and they on some of the cards, and it's the contrast is not high enough. So could you look at that? And the other thing I want you to do is to put a cookie notice on it so that when people first open it, they can decide what they're going to do with their cookies and their information, and actually make sure that it's connected to something so it works and their cookies aren't tracked if they don't, or they're not tracked if they don't want that. Okay, so send that one off, swap the background, change that. And so for this one, I'm just going to say, hey, are you GDPR compliant? And we'll see what it does. Hey, are you GDPR compliant? I don't think you are. So now it'll go and look at what GDPR compliance is. And hopefully build it in. This one's thinking about the things I've done. So, okay, you're right. It's not. Here's what's missing. So all you need to know is that there's a standard out there, GDPR. And it's right at the top, no cookie consent banner, no privacy policy page, newsletter, sign up form, collects email with no consent checkbox, no link to privacy policy, no explanation. Google fonts loaded from Google CDN. A German court ruled that a GDPR violation in 2022, since it sends visitors' IPs to Google without consent. Yay. To fix this, I need to do that. And yeah, fix it all, man. So with one comment, one question, are you GDPR compliant? It goes back and it looks. Now, Claude Code knows that websites need to be GDPR compliant. So it could have offered that. But the problem with AI is it usually only answers your question. So if your question has nothing to do with compliance, but it says, build me a website, it's like, okay, boss, I'll build you a website. Now you go, why does it need to be GDPR compliant? Well, if someone in the European Union looks at your webpage and it's not GDPR compliant, you could be sued or taken to court, and you go, well, that's kind of weird. And it is. But there's also lawsuits out there because if people aren't up to California code in the States, you can be sued for not having an accessible website. And some law firms go around looking for non-compliant websites, and they'll sue you. They're not looking to go to court, but what they're looking to do is shake you down for whatever they can shake you down for. And they'll be right. So you'll be on your back foot because you have a non-compliant website. So yeah, that one in line. Now, one of the things I'm noticing on mine is that it's supposed to do GDPR and the California one. I can't remember what it is right now. But I wanted to point this out. Now write the JS cookie system to actually work with real consent management, right? Because I told it to put in the accept cookies banner, and it might have done that, but it might have done it in a way that actually didn't work. So it would just give you this card and these buttons, but they wouldn't be connected to anything, and they wouldn't do anything. That's why I told it to make sure it actually worked. So it's written a privacy policy. Oh, and there's a privacy policy. So we're compliant. I'm okay. Essential cookies. Yeah. Analytics. Let us understand site usage. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to accept that. And so now it's got my IP address and it's going to track anyone. Now, no one's looking at it because this is still living on my computer and in my browser. And so I would recommend, if you're building a website, you build it on your browser, play with it all you want, change stuff, take a website you like and say, hey, I like the colors on this one, make it like that. Or if it's, you have a pet grooming business, say, go and give me 5 examples of pet grooming businesses. And let's take different features from those and add them to my website. Okay, so this is still working. That's still working. And just before we go, I close for the day. So this is a website. It belongs to a friend of mine's wife. She grooms cats. This is her live website. And, if you need your cat groomed, you're not going to be worried about what this website looked like. And this is the website that I built for her in 4 hours. So, yeah, here we are. It's still got these goofy emojis, etc. But you can clean that up. I also web search optimized it just by adding a ton of information, history of cats, right? Lots of internal links. So for anyone who knows SEO optimization, Google really loves to have internal links and external links. So here's her certification as a cat groomer. And somewhere along here, I think we've got a link to where you can get certified, something like that. So that is, and I'm going to stop presenting, I think. And now I got to find you guys. I don't know where the window is where you're all at. Of course I don't. I think you're around here somewhere. Nope. Nope.
So how many subscriptions one needs? One needs Cloud Code, one needs Whisper, probably host N10 somewhere and buy a subscription for using the APIs and all those. I mean, what kind of a stack do you have for your normal day-to-day work?
I use Claude Code all the time for almost everything. I do not want to use the APIs if I can get away with it. So I make Claude run everything. I wonder, does anyone know what I'm looking for here to find my way back to to the recording? This is kind of goofy and embarrassing, actually.
I'm also more habituated to Zoom than Google Meet, but
yeah, I'm looking for how to find my way back to everybody. So I stopped sharing, and now I'm like lost on my own machine.
Meeting tools. I don't remember where there is an option. Usually it's a bar, I believe. Let's see.
Wonder if it's over here. Oh wait, what's this? No, Acrobat Reader.
No, but it's fine. I guess we can see you, and then it's the normal way that it should be. It's fine. We can see you. Can you see us?
Okay. No, that's a
That's
problem.
why.
I'm like, what is happening? Yeah, so I'm converting from Zoom. So And now I just opened something I can see myself. So I'm going to call this a fail on Google's part, like, because when I stop sharing, like, shouldn't their screen pop back up? I'm just going to click through. Click through, click through, click through, click through, click through. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, what's this? No. What's that? No. Now I'm just looking for all the Google stuff. Oh, there we are. That was embarrassing. Sorry about that. I suppose I could have kept talking to you because I knew you could see me, but again, it's just me trying to get used to it. So that's a quick and dirty intro to how easy it is to build a website. So there's two other steps to get the website live. You can get it live on GitHub for free. Open a GitHub account, and you would create a project in there. If you have a question about that, ask Claude. It will tell you what to do. You create a new project, and then you will link your Claude Code project to your GitHub, and it'll upload. GitHub has this feature called Pages, and you can publish your website. It's got a weird GitHub URL, but it's a free URL. And I haven't done it, but you can add your own URL to it. I host all of my websites for free through a service called Netlify. So Amadi, sorry, who was it? Was it Amit? Was it your website or was it you, Amadi?
No, that was me. Yeah, Amit.
Okay, so Amit. So Amit's website is hosted through Vercel. So that's another free one. So really, if you wanted to get a website live for free without a domain name, you could go to Netlify through GitHub. Does Vercel work through GitHub too?
Yes,
Amit?
that's right. I've mapped that both of them together.
Okay. So you open a Vercel account or a Netlify account. You can link it to your GitHub project. And yeah, Gabrielle's put it in the chat. You link it to the project. And now all you need to do is once it's live out on the web is you would open Claude Code or your cowork, and you would say, I want to modify website number 2. I want a animated pirate ship floating around in the middle over top of all the words so nobody can read it. And it would go, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Because it doesn't tell you what's dumb and what's smart unless you ask it. And then you hit enter, right? So it builds it. You can have a look at it locally. And then you say push to GitHub. And it goes to GitHub. And once it's on GitHub, within a minute or two, it gets built up onto the live page. So really, you could do a modification to your live web page, and it takes 5 minutes to get it live, right? And that's kind of the coolest thing I think of. And you don't even have to sound like you know what you're talking about to get the change done. And that's what I love about Claude Code. You can say, hey, add a new page, make it say this, and it'll go, all right. And then 5 minutes later, your website will have a new page. So that's in a nutshell. It's 1 o'clock-ish, just after 1. So I'm going to have to knock it on the head. You can let me know here if you found this useful. Or you can send me a message on School. And the other thing, I think next week, and I thought of it today because of you, Tina, when I read your intro thing about Cowork, is maybe next week we'll just play with Cowork because I've got to learn how to play with it too. And so there's no better way to do it than learn how to do it live when you don't know what you're doing. All right. So thanks, everyone. If there aren't any other questions, we'll just we'll hit the road and we'll enjoy the rest of our Thursday.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay.
All right. Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Jay.
All right.
It was fun.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.